I'm a used car dealer and the EV market has absolutely crashed, so I went to auction and bought these two Teslas. And later on in this video, I'm gonna tell you exactly how much I paid for them. I really wanna see how well a used Tesla holds up. So we've got these that have higher mileage on them. I'll tell you how many miles exactly these things have on them later on. But it's not low mileage. So I want to see how a used Tesla really holds up. I am a used car dealer, and this is going to be part of my reality in probably not too distant future of me actually selling these things. So I need to know what the problems are, what the good things are, what the bad things are, what kind of setup I have to make sure that I'm able to charge them. All these things I need to know for my business. So why did I decide to buy these Teslas now? Well, really 6 months ago, a year ago, it wouldn't have been an option. It wouldn't even been in my thought process to want to buy two of these Teslas. But the prices have dropped so much so quickly that, okay, now it's opening my eyes to be able to really spend the money to get them to want to experiment with them. So why have prices on these EVs dropped so much lately? Well, you have Elon who's doing price cut after price cut after price cut. You got them missing deliveries. You've got downward pressure on the market. You've got Hertz, who is dumping a lot of Model 3s into the used space because people do not want to rent a lot of these Teslas. So they're figuring out that, hey, this is probably not a good investment for us to have for our rental fleet. So they're dumping all these cars into auction. I've seen tons of them at these auctions that I go to coming through the system. You have adoption that a lot of these manufacturers thought was going to be mass scale, right? They thought that everyone was going to be driving an EV and it was going to happen very, very quickly. Well, it turns out that that's not the case. That's not what we're seeing in the market right now. And then you have manufacturers like Ford have put so much money into the EV space. The Mach-E's, the F-150s, they're sitting everywhere at these dealerships, and you're starting to see a lot of them on the new side come down in price, and that's putting downward pressure just really across the board on used EVs, just because a lot of these manufacturers, they're having a very, very, very hard time selling a lot of these EVs. So one really big reason why I feel like I really wanted to buy these EVs and experience actually owning these is because, okay, I cover the car market, and that's really what I do here on YouTube. And I really feel like, okay, the EV sector is going to be a big part of the car market. It's already a huge part of the car market. And so I need to know the technology. So for me to be able to do that, I need to experience the technology for myself. So we're buying these Teslas. We have created this channel to be able to cover this sector of the market. So this is a brand new channel that covers the EV space. So make sure you subscribe to this. We're going to be showing a lot more of my experiences with these EVs and really just keeping you up to date on the news that's going on in the EV sector. So now, where did I buy these two Teslas from? Well, they both came from auction. So as a used car dealer, I go to used car dealer auctions, and most of the cars that run through these dealer auctions are new car dealer trade-ins, which is exactly what these two are. Now, I know I've talked about Hertz dumping a lot into the market. There are also a lot of rental cars that are coming into the space, but neither one of these were Hertz cars. These were both new car dealer trade-ins, and I got them from auction from new car dealers. But what's interesting about this is I actually tried to go to a dealer to buy one of these Teslas. See, this Model S right here, there's not a lot of them that pop up at auction. So I was waiting, could never seem to see one go through auction around me. So I ended up going to a bunch of car dealers and got the runaround, and it turned out that a lot of the times whenever I was going to these car dealerships is the price that was being advertised was definitely not the price they were trying to sell it for. Just a few weeks ago, I saw a Model S that had really high mileage on it, 186,000 miles. It's going to be good for making videos and seeing how they hold up. But it was offered for sale online for $13,000. Well, I called the dealership. They would never tell me what the real price was over the phone. Had to eventually go to the dealership. And right as soon as I walked into the doors, that Tesla that was $13,000 turned into an $18,000 Tesla. So I figured out after dealing with a few of those same types of situations that, you know what, I'm probably not finding what I want from a dealership. At least I'm not going to be willing to pay all their add-ons, the fees, the crap that they want to charge. So I'm going to have to just wait on it for to come through auction. But I was ready to buy one. And I was seeing a lot of these Model 3s, just like this one, roll through auction each and every week. So I ended up just pulling the trigger and buying one of these Model 3s, got it at auction. And my plan was not to buy two Teslas. It was only to buy a Model S, and that's the one that I wanted to try out, the one I wanted to drive. Never found one. Model 3 came through. I just said, you know what, I'll buy it. But you know what, 3 weeks later after I bought this one, that one came through auction, so I saw it, decided to buy it. So now I have two Teslas to actually try out to show you on this channel. So why would I not go the route of buying from Tesla's used inventory? Well, really when I started looking for these Teslas and sharing it like on social media, I had someone from Tesla actually reach out to me and try to help me find a Tesla through their inventory. Was able to give me all the history on it, all the work that they've done to it. And I would have loved to go that route. There's actually even some benefit to buying a Tesla through their inventory, as you get extra warranties, you get them checking it to make sure everything's right and ready to go. The problem that I found with Tesla's inventory is that when I was even looking at other dealers, that it seemed like for the similar models that Tesla was selling, it was $5,000 to $10,000 more for the car that I was looking for, the Model S that I was looking for. So because Tesla was way more expensive than even dealers, not even to mention wholesale where I can buy cars through auction, but for them to be so much more expensive than other dealers, it was just really a no-go for me because the price was just way too high at Tesla compared to everywhere else. So when I started looking for these EVs, how did I know exactly what I wanted to buy? Well, to tell you the truth, I didn't. I figured it was Tesla, but I really wasn't sure. So luckily I have some buddies that are also on YouTube that are in the space. Farzad, Dr. Know-It-All, John, they're great guys. They're very knowledgeable about the EV space, about the Tesla space. So I actually was able to sit down and talk to them for a while and ask them all the questions because I had no clue what I wanted. I had no clue what I was really getting into. So they pointed me in the right direction. And after talking to them and asking them questions about both the Model 3 and the Model S, I figured out that the Model S was really what I wanted. And the big reason for that, and they let me really see this from the information that they gave me, is that the Model S feels more like a car. It's more solid. It has a dash that's behind the steering wheel. I'm going to feel more comfortable with the transition from my gas-powered cars that I usually drive to getting into this. So it's an easier stepping stone to get into this. And I can now, driving both of them and driving the Model 3 first, I can absolutely agree with that 100%, that the Model S feels more like your traditional car, 10 times more than the Model 3. The Model 3 feels like you're driving a computer and not a car, whereas the S feels like you're driving a car, but it has just a lot of tech to it. And both Farzad, Dr. Know-It-All, great channels to check out. I'll link them down in the description, and I'll even put a link to the video where I was asking them questions. So I have narrowed it down to the 3 or the S. So I would like to hear you guys' opinion on those.
So it's basically a beefed up Model 3 with new components, internal and external. So it's basically an entire refresh. You get a screen in the back as well. You get better suspension.
Just give me a little grace, because obviously I did not know what I was talking about when I was going in there. So lots of questions that if you don't know a lot about EVs, it's a great video to check out. But my ultimate goal really with having these cars is to really educate people who don't know about EVs, or even people that do know about EVs, about how one that's used is going to hold up. So I'm creating this channel all around that. We're going to be covering the market, where prices are going. We're going to be showing how these EVs hold up, what a used EV looks like, where the prices are going. And really for that, if you're interested in that, make sure you subscribe to this channel. It's brand new. This is the first video that we put out on it, and I want to make sure I take you along the ride as I'm getting used to and learning more about these Teslas myself. And one of the big things that I want to showcase with this channel is, okay, a lot of times when you talk about Tesla, when you talk about EVs, you have two sides of the equation. You have two sides of the argument. You have anti-EV, I'm never going to have one, don't even talk to me about EVs. And then you have the other side, which is Tesla fanboy. You have, okay, the guys who can't say anything negative about it because they just love Tesla so much. And I want to find that middle ground. I'm not anti-EV, but I'm also not this super Tesla fanboy. I think there's problems with the technology. I think there's problems with the charging infrastructure. But also, I've now ridden in the cars. I know a little bit more about the technology, and I like the experience that you get through the car. So I want to be able to mold my opinion of the EV space, of these Teslas, as I get more used to them. And I'm really curious to see really where I land. And I really just want to approach this concept of an EV with a fresh start, with not having any kind of agenda. I want to be right in the middle, and I feel like there's not enough of that out there. And this is the environment I want to create on this channel, is where, okay, we can have debates on what's good, what's bad, and I can give my opinion on what's good and what's bad, and be able to show you this throughout these videos. All right, so now what I actually paid for these cars. Well, this one I'm sitting on right now is a 2019 Model 3, and it's the standard range, really the cheapest one you can get. And I paid $17,200 for this. Now, when I buy from auction, I have a fee too, so on top of that, it's about probably a $500 fee. So that's what I have in this one. It's got 86,000 miles on it. I know, high mileage for a Tesla. But this is what I wanted. I wanted to look for one that had higher mileage. One, so I could get it cheaper, and two, because we just need to see how they hold up. But this one, which is the one that I want to keep for a while, I want to drive. So this Model S, which is the one that I'm going to drive for a while, it's a 2019, it's long range, it's got 100,000 miles on it. And I paid $22,200 for it. It's as clean as it can be. It looks like a brand new car. Yeah, so that's what I paid for this one. Anyway, that's my plan. Check out our next videos when they come out. Subscribe, like this video, leave me a comment, and let me know what kind of content on this channel you would like to see me do. But appreciate you watching, and please subscribe. Thank you guys.